What's going on, guys? With only 13 days remaining till Bayonetta 1 and 2 get ported to the Nintendo Switch, I decided to make a mini retrospective video talking about the history of Bayonetta 1 and 2. Bayonetta 1 started with Hideki Kamiya directing and developing at Platinum Games since January 2007, stating the game was almost complete. By October 21st, 2009, the group developed Bayonetta for Xbox 360, while Sega, with Platinum Games' original data and support, hand-led Next Entertainment to port the game to Sony's PlayStation 3, and seeing how PlayStation 3 had the weakest port, those efforts were most likely in vain. Kamiya had worked on previous games such as Devil May Cry, Beautiful Joe, and a part of the Resident Evil series. And as such, the game makes occasional references to these games, as well as games worked on by Clover Studios, and various Sega titles, like a minigame inspired by Space Harrier. Marie Shimizaki designed the game's characters to be fashionable with subdued features. She designed them to fulfill Kamiya's request for a modern female witch that wears glasses and wields 4 guns. After countless concepts, the two just decided to go with the original design for Bayonetta, even though other concepts were produced for over a year, and finally Bayonetta emerged as a long-haired, black-clothed witch with a sort of beehive hairdo and glasses, which Kamiya really pushed for to differentiate Bayonetta from other female characters and give her a sense of mystery and intelligence. Shimizaki didn't require a huge amount of effort to design Bayonetta's short-haired, red-clothed rival, Jean, who merely wears her glasses on her head above her eyes. Shimizaki added plumes to Jean's handguns to add movement to the design, and thick makeup to Jean's face to make her feel like something out of the 1960s. Though Shimizaki preferred Bayonetta, Jean turned out to be the more popular of the two witches among Kamiya and the development team, hence leading to the fact that Kamiya stated in April 2009's interview, calling Bayonetta in many ways his ideal woman. Though the game's director deliberately created Bayonetta from scratch and has called its story completely original, he has admitted using some names from Scandinavian mythology and playing about half of Devil May Cry 4 for research. As a fan of folk music, he named Bayonetta's set of 4 handguns after the old English ballad Scarborough Fair, and its individual guns parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Hiroshi Yamaguchi focused on composing music for the game that has a nice up-tempo beat and expresses femininity through female choirs, pianos, and other beautiful instruments. Though some tracks use orchestra or folk instruments, those types of music productions were made to focus on Bayonetta's female and graceful appeal. Kenichiro Yoshimura transformed Shimizaki's Bayonetta design into a game model and used the digital sculpting tool in ZBrush to create normal maps for its details. He worked with Shimizaki on the model's makeup and referred to foreign models with similar body types, stating, "I really wanted to get Bayonetta's backside perfect. I guess I really am into that sort of thing." To Kamiya, the core theme of the game and its protagonist's attacks is sexiness. To her femininity and sexuality, the developers made Bayonetta bleed rose petals instead of blood when hit, and used butterfly imagery as part of her moves and outfit. Her giant boot, fist, and monster attacks reveal some of her body, and her hair is magically formed into clothes, but must be temporarily reallocated to forming offensive weapons. And when the player targets an enemy, red lips mark the enemy's chest. This led IGN to call the game a mix of action and a great big helping of fan service. The game's sexual tone is reflected in its age rating in the United States. The ESRB rated the game mature. At the 2009 Electronic Entertainment Expo, Sega chose Penny Drake to model as Bayonetta after auditioning 100 women. The company then joined men's lifestyle website Maxim.com to run a contest to find women who look like Bayonetta. The grand prize winner, Adria Bonacorso, announced on November 23, 2009, received an Xbox 360, a 50-inch plasma television, and a copy of the 360 version of the game. Sega hired Japanese pop singer Michi to perform Something Missing, written for a Bayonetta commercial. The commercial, which has since been shown on the game's official Japanese website, totes the game as non-stop climax action, and features a model dressed as Bayonetta with a lollipop. And the US and the UK commercials have featured LaRox's In for the Kill. Demos of Bayonetta were released on Xbox Live and PlayStation Network in Japan on October 8th, 2009, and internationally on December 3rd, 2009. The full game was released on October 29th, 2009 in Japan, and was later released in other regions in 2010, January 5th in North America, January 7th in Australia, and January 8th in Europe. An update for the PlayStation 3 version was released on January 28th for its obvious technical issues, allowing players to install the game on their hard drive, dramatically reducing load times. A 150-song 5-CD soundtrack for the game was scheduled for November 4th release. On April 1st, 2017, Sega released an 8-bit Bayonetta game for free on Microsoft Windows. While the game uses 8-bit era graphics and was extremely simplified in gameplay, only allowing Bayonetta to jump and fire at a few enemies, it was considered to be a part of an April Fool's Day prank. Players found several bits and pieces in the achievements that pointed to the countdown timer on Sega's website ending on April 11th, 2017, as well as other data mining suggesting a possible port of Bayonetta game to Windows. At the end of the timer, it was confirmed that Bayonetta was coming to Windows, supporting 4K graphics and other improvements from the original versions. A spokesperson for Platinum Games said that they have become interested in porting more of their games to the PC, though the decisions to do so has been a choice of their respective publishers. Sega supported the PC releases as of late. Platinum's development efforts to port the game to the Wii U aided in completing the port to the PC as well. On November 23, 2013, an anime film based on the game titled Bayonetta Bloody Fate, directed by Fuminori Hizaki and produced by Gonzo, with screenplay by Mitsutaka Hirota and character design by Ai Yokoyama. The film was announced at Tokyo Game Show 2013. It was then released on Blu-ray disc and DVD in Japan in January 24, 2014. A manga adaptation illustrated by Mizuki Sakakibara was published in 2 parts in the Shonen magazine on November 9th, 2013 and December 9th, 2013 respectively. In conclusion, Bayonetta is an action-adventure hack-and-slash video game developed by Platinum Games and published by Sega. The game was originally released for Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 in Japan in October 2009, and in North America and Europe in January 2010. The game was later released on the Wii U alongside its sequel, Bayonetta 2, releasing in September 2014. Bayonetta was the 3rd project released by Platinum Games, which was founded by former Clover Studios employees. At release, the game received generally positive reviews. The game was praised for its combat, presentation, and soundtrack, but was criticized for its story and quick-time events. Bayonetta was awarded and nominated for several end-of-the-year accolades, and had sold over 1 million units worldwide by 2010, with Bayonetta's success called for the eventual port to the Nintendo Switch on February 16th, 2018. Thanks for watching this retrospective look at Bayonetta 1, and make sure to click on the link to view the next retrospective based on Bayonetta 2. See you guys in the next one. Later.